Okay, hammering out the pin is the hardest part by far, by a long shot. This is what I wind up doing, is get it in the vise flat. Do not squish it too hard. We do not want to bend it like I did with my first one. We want to squeeze it as much as possible just to keep it straight and make sure we have some space to push the pin out with. Then we get whatever we have for pressing tools. Originally I was using my needle nose pliers, my old school needle nose pliers that don't break at the tips. Everything else probably gonna break, but you could try newer ones. Anything small enough. It's just hard to find things that are small enough. You could even try hammering the actual drill bit itself through. Probably one of the smallest things is going to fit through that. So I've got the punch tools right now, which is probably the same size as this. I'm going to do my best and start with this. And at least start it and then finish it with the pin. I had some luck yesterday. I didn't have luck in the beginning, but then I had luck on the second time. So I think you just have to learn how to do it and do it slowly and practice a little bit. So wish me luck here. You need power, so you do need a heavy hammer to line it up right. It's moving. It's definitely moving. Now let's have a look at it. That's the side I'm pushing into. That's the side that's pressing out. So let's give it a few more cracks. And they're nice and flat. No damage to the dog bone whatsoever. It's gotta be in there kind of tight so you can give it a good hammer. Very straight, line it up well. Now I'll grab the thinner one and use this one. All right, I have the shorter one here that I did buy within the set that I did break already, but it still works for me. Let's see where we're at with our hammering progress. You can see the pin's starting to come out now. You just gotta stay on it, be gentle, be patient, keep kind of hammering slowly, straight, line it up, be perfect. And eventually it'll start coming out. Once you can get it out, usually you can pull it out, or you gotta just hammer it all the way. The important part is try not to widen the hole because it's gonna make it a little trickier to get the next piece in. Unless you want to go up in diameter, which you can. Let's finish it. First thing I'll try, just to see where it's at, is the pliers. See if I can just pull it. No, I think it's still in there really tight. We're just gonna keep hammering. I'll get the longer one out again. That's bending already. That's how you pull it out. Just a quick twist with this tool. Make sure you're nice and gentle. Now we can check our progress. Maybe we can pull it out with this. I doubt it. Nope. We gotta go in there with more. Not out of the water yet. Like I said, this is the absolute hardest part. I wish there was an easy way to get the pin out. With the kind of crappy setup that I have, which is not a professional setup, it's like a tiny little workbench with like basic tools. I will buy stuff as I need, but I'm trying to give this one a quick little whack. Smallest amount of PB blaster onto it, just the smallest amount. That's it, tiny bit. Yep, here we are like a half hour later, still trying to get it out. I don't think we're any further. Feels like a better fit now. All right, needless to say, it worked. Whoops. Well, hopefully I didn't stretch the hole, but I think we're good. I'll work on the other side. She's out. Yay, we're happy. How cool is that? And the tool's bent a little bit, so we'll bend her back. This is as custom as it's ever gonna get. Custom hack job from yours truly. All right, I mean, I straightened it out for now. It should be good enough, just whatever. I'll work with that when I need to in the future. Let's get the other one out now. Same procedure. Stick it in the vise the same way, as flat as possible across the top without damaging it at all. I'm gonna start with my trusty triangular one. Oh, did I just hear it come out? Nope. That was a fantasy. We are moving. Oh, God. Well, once again, I screwed it up, and it works too well. This tool now works too well. So I advise if you buy one of these tools, file it down a little bit so it gets into that hole. And, you know, buy some more dog bones just to practice on if you're into this kind of thing. I'm probably going to have to, because look at this. I probably just stretched the hole with my stupidity. I didn't think it would work that well. That's why. I had to, like, hammer this stuff hard in the past. Now, with this tool filed down a little bit, it fits perfectly in that diameter. It's live and learn, you know? Yep, you want to slightly twist. Don't want to break the tool, just want to get it out. This ain't moving. So we snapped the end of the tool, so I'll have to just file this down again and then keep using it. Now the tool itself is stuck in the hole, so we're gonna have to use the triangular one. My God, what am I doing? This is so annoying. Get out. It feels good. It spins in there easily now, so this, like, I can tell it's just a little bit smaller than the diameter of the pin shaft, the pinhole. Now, if we're not blocking ourselves, we can try to be gentle. Get this thing out. Okay, I heard something there. We don't want to go too deep. I think we got it, but now I have to remove this properly. Let's see if we get any luck over here. Or are we gonna just break it? All right. Seemed to have worked. Success is mine. That worked. Got the pin out. Sweet. Both pins out. Now we can reinstall new ones. You can just simply press in new ones with some Loctite and pray to God that they stay in, which they probably will. We'll see how much power they can handle before they shear. That's how I press out the pins in the dog bone, because I have the crappiest setup ever. Just two little workbenches and some tools, you know, and a closet over there. But I don't have a professional setup. I would assume somebody out there that's got like a nice machine shop could do this very easily. Very easily. Way easier than I could. So let's get down to business and let me finish this, get some pins in here, and I'll film that also. So let me do that. It's only been 34 minutes of me trying to get these both out, so let's move on to the easier part. The more fun part. And then this tool, I'm pretty sure you can file down the end and make it work for you a little bit better. So I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a shrinkening. Well, at least she's ready for the next one. I have to batch out nice and sharp. Probably still the problem on this one where I didn't file it, so I would advise filing them down just a little bit if you buy these tools. I'll file this piece down. I can work with this. Now this one is even like a weapon. Ready to go to start smacking new pins. We're psyched. Saved a tool. See? Can always use these tools. And I have some grinding wheels if I need to really go crazy, but that's like last resort. All right, here are all my tools for pressing in a new pin. We've got the new pins right here, which are these, just so everybody can see what I'm using, where we already used one in the other dog bone. It's now in the Mojave. We have the press tool that I created, my second attempt. It's cleaner, better, stronger, advanced. Give it 3/16. I think it's 3/16. Yep, 3/16. Standard. And then some red permanent Loctite. Strong bond. I'm not sure if it's as strong as JB Weld epoxy for metal, but we'll see. And that's it. So let me show you how I press in the new pin. First thing we're gonna have to do is cut the pins out of here. We could probably make 2 pins from the base of the screw markings. 2 pins from about here down. So probably gonna cut. I wanna cut at the top of the, not the bottom. See, that's the bottom. I'm gonna cut it right up there, right there. I'm cutting it right there, giving myself a little bit longer for both pins. So we can get 2 pins out of this one, and then hopefully save these for the future, which would be 6 pins, not including the top. The top might work if you use a bunch of epoxy and thread locker. I'm sure it would work. We'll try that out later, but we're not gonna need to try that out because I have a ton of these metal pins coming in on Friday. You'll see. Should be the right size, nice alloy or drive shafts, but we still probably have to reinforce it maybe with some epoxy or thread locker. Or I have to just simply go up to the next size, which would be 5/64. So I'm thinking that's just the best idea. Increase the diameter of the pin going through the drive shaft, and we'll probably be fine with like 1 more step up. All right, so let's get cracking. All right, the first step is gonna be creating our dog bones. So I'm just gonna keep it simple. Mark where I wanna mark it, which is gonna be right about here. Like I said, I'm gonna go with the top of the slits, not the bottom, just to give myself a tiny bit more space. So I want to go with right about here. We'll do the first cut. All right, found both pieces. When you do chop that thing, make sure to do it like in a bag or on a pillow so the pieces don't bounce and fly all over the place like they just did for me. I'm gonna save this piece just in case I ever wind up using them in the future for videos or just to try out and see if they work. This piece we're gonna have to cut right in half. Same thing as before. Find the middle point and mark it. It's about halfway, I think. Gonna mark it right in the middle where I can see where the blades are. Right about there. I think that'll work. Let me chop it on the pillow. All right, we created 2 pins. I almost got it halfway, but they'll both work. Now, let's get these into the new dog bone and use some red Loctite. And all we're gonna do is press them in. So let's take one of them. What I like to do to take one of them, feel out the dog bone a little bit, see which one goes into the hole a little bit. Like right there, that one kind of goes in a little bit, kinda, just like that by hand. I wanna put it in by hand, just enough. You know what a good idea is? Let's get the file. I'm just gonna file down the edges just a little bit on this pin, just to start it. Easier, I think it'll help. Just a little bit, not a lot. Yeah, we're just looking to find a nice place for it to drive into the pin just a little bit because we're going to be hammering it anywhere where it fits in. This one seems to fit a little better. I probably stretched it with the triangular one, but that's a good thing, but it at least starts. So I'll take it from here, come over to the vise where I got my steel, grab the hammer, put it down and just give it a couple of starter. I'm just starting it. I'm not pushing it all the way. I initially tried hammering it all the way in, but it doesn't work. The pins usually just break, so you really need that precise force. Now, I'll take the tool, back over to the vise, put the tool in the vise. Like I said before, I have a catch side and a screw side. The catch side has a hole on it that I drilled out pretty well with the 1/16, so that's like a little too deep to push, so it can catch very well. So we catch on this side, and we're gonna push on this side, and I'll show you what this one looks like to push with. It's just a little more of a deeper cup with a smaller attachment, probably the second size up to 5/64 or something, or whatever it is, 3/64. It's definitely a drill bit size up. I don't think I could drill the 1/16 drill bit into this at the time properly. Now that I know how to, I'll probably try it again, but this works for now. I'm realizing all you need is a little bit of a deeper cup in that to just do the pushing where it's not too wide. Okay, so that's gonna be the pusher. Set it in the vise just like that. Decently tight, not too tight. We're gonna put the pusher screw in. You can see where I messed the screw up. You can see where I drilled the screw because I kept it in there when I drilled it with the coupler or the nut over here. I kept it in there just so I wouldn't damage the threads. And I didn't even think I would use this screw, but it wound up going back into this one very easily. It was not screwing into the first one that I made my first attempt, but this one we got it. It can it goes in mostly by hand. So this piece is gonna go down into here. Probably not gonna go in all the way at the moment unless I unscrew it. So this piece goes down into here like this. And then I start screwing it back once I get some Loctite on that. So let me put some Loctite on it now. Not too much, just enough. Enough to not make a mess, that is. Look at that. None of it even got onto the paper towel. Perfect. That should be enough. I think, for now. So we put it into the vise, tighten it up a little bit. Make sure we line it up. This is the part where you gotta line it up. Try to keep things in the middle. Keep this at 90 degrees if possible. Get it nice and tight. Get the Allen wrench. We're gonna hold the dog bone like 90 degrees so it doesn't really move. We're gonna line it up and we're just gonna slowly push it through. Very slowly, because you can snap them very easily. So you want it to go in without snapping. That's the whole goal. And at some point you'll see that space where the pin is right down in here. You'll see that shrink when it starts pressing in appropriately. Be very careful, going very slow, very easy, very gentle, with a lot of force. I've snapped these in the past, so I know they're not like invincible. They're definitely brittle. They'll just like break into powder when you put too much force on them. It's kind of funny. I'm gonna back it out a little bit and check my progress. Did we get anywhere? Didn't look like we got far. So let's keep going. Sometimes it doesn't sit in there perfectly straight because it's a homemade tool, so you gotta do it again. You gotta like line it up again, hold this, and then start turn. I think it's going in there now. I think I could feel it press in. And as you can see, as I do this, the size right in there, the space of the pin shrinks because you can see it and feel it going into the hole. So I'm gonna pull it out now and check the progress. Did I overdo it? What do we think? Oh, that looks perfect. Perfect. I eyeballed it perfectly. Now I'll drop a little bit more Loctite onto it because why not, right? Probably smart just to put one little drop onto it. That's it. Nothing more, maybe two. Make sure it's all covered and the Loctite gets into the crevices and little spaces. We should be good right there. That's looking good. Is it not? That's gonna work. I don't know how well it's gonna work, but that's how I do it at the moment. So I'm gonna use the red Loctite now, and if I need to reinforce it with epoxy and build up those edges right in the corner, right where the pin meets the dog bone, I can put some epoxy right around that, like a little collar of epoxy, I'm thinking. Might reinforce it just enough, we'll see. So I have that option. Or I can just drive a bigger pin through, especially if I stretch the hole a little bit, so. All right, now let me do the other side. Leaking down a little bit, gotta clean this up. All right, now let's insert the pin for this side. Same procedure. So what I'm gonna do is try to find a place where the pin kind of goes in a little easier. Potentially on this side, I think. I can just stick it in long enough to give it a quick whack. That's all I'm looking for. Well, I'm gonna file it again. Starting the pin is a little tricky. So if we can give it some help, we will. I think I can balance it long enough to get a quick whack. The magnets grab my hammer, it's so funny. Nothing too crazy, just start it and try to keep it 90 degrees. Now that we have it started, let's get it into the actual tool, press tool. Well, let's get some Loctite on it first, the first thing. Just a drop. All right, we got some Loctite on it. Now let's get it in here. Undo this one a little bit so it fits. Line it up. Make sure this one sits in there about 90 degrees. It's probably the most important part. And then, you know, back out, go back in, find that nice center. And now we can start pressing as we hold this at 90 degrees because it's gonna wanna move. It's always the tricky part. I'll back out, try it again, just to try to keep a center. It's not easy to find the center. This is why I've snapped some of these in the past with my last tool. And I had to do it again and learn slowly that the tool has to be well drilled and then the pins have to be short enough. Do not attempt it with longer pins or else they will absolutely shear on you and snap in half. Everything has to be short. When you're drilling out the screws, the drill bit has to be very short, like sticking out of the drill about that much so you don't snap it. You need all the force possible with these tiny drill bits. So if you only give yourself like that much sticking out of the drill with like a heavy drill. I got the regular cord powered DeWalt drill right there. It's just a regular drill. I just wanted to mention that. All right, I backed it out. I just want to make sure it's still at 90 degrees and we can try to press it if I feel like it's centered. Always need a lot of force here. Real slow. I go really slow. I can see that the drive shaft isn't moving much. Sometimes it wants to pull forward when it's not sitting in there right. I'll just go really slowly. I don't feel it popping in yet. Since I have to use so much force, I'm gonna back it out and reseat it. Let me just check my progress for a second. Okay, you know, we are okay. I think we're doing all right. I think we're starting to get in a little deeper, but back into the tool, line her up, try to keep it where it's gonna get pressed straight in. It's all by eye right now, lining it up. Probably why it's a little tricky to get. So I think this might help. We'll see. Let's see if I can press her. This is a lot of force. A lot of force. So be very careful. You don't want to like slip and cut yourself. I'm being kind of prepared for cutting. Well, I just heard something there. Hopefully it wasn't breaking of the actual drill bit itself. So let's check our progress. No real progress yet. I think that's the end of the drill bit just snapping off because it was the side where the drill etching was. So back to centering it. Keep it at 90 degrees. Gotta lock it in place. Tighten this. See if we can drive her in. I don't know if that's centered. I don't feel good about that one. Do we get any pressage yet? I really have to drive it. It looks centered. Oh, my fault. That was a lot of force, so we'll back it out. Something doesn't feel right. Let's have a look and see what we're doing wrong. I think we're just not lining it up. It's not easy. It wasn't going in straight. That was the problem. You just go all the way in and bend you back a little bit. Arrgh. Oh no. Oh no. All right, so that one failed. I just broke that. I don't know how. I think I was using too much force, and that's not good. It wasn't centered properly, so it wasn't going in straight. So now I gotta hammer this one out again. All right, cleared it. Punch tools worked great that time, didn't they? Let's try this again, shall we? That's why I bought a few of these. So we're opening up this pack now. I didn't want to, but we gotta. And let's slice off a new pin, probably. Just gonna eyeball it. I just want to get just what we need. Should be about this much. I'm only gonna do about a third. Trying to get a nice, healthy third of this right there. All right, wish me luck. All right, I think we succeeded. That's a good third. Okay, now we're gonna start it again. Gotta find a side where I can just start it with the hammer. I think that's it. All right, that one's in. We're gonna add some Loctite, just a drop. And then let's get pressing. Make sure I got the sides right. That's the catch side, that's the push side. Going in like this. All right, wish me luck, everybody. So once again, the pin goes in. We have to line it up. I mean, I think it's gotta be like pushed back 90 degrees. You really gotta keep some force on this part. Really gotta push the drive shaft backwards as to try to get a good line. It's not easy. It's the second hardest part of this whole thing. Once you think you get it in the middle. What happened there? Well, I mean, it kind of worked. It got it through a little more. Okay, screws are on backwards. Hold on. Now let's try it. Just making sure that the dog bone head is sitting up against that other screw. Now we can attempt the press. All right, this one's going in way too easily, I'm afraid. That wasn't good. Yeah, this one's not pressing in properly at all. I can just do it by hand, so that's not good. I think I reamed the hole open too much when I attempted it before, so let's at least get it right into the middle and then add some Loctite. All right, she's not perfect, but she's done. There's Loctite all over everything. You know, this one doesn't really fit in tight anymore. My fault. Oh well. I probably just stretched the hole hammering it out or something stupid, but it's okay because it gives me an opportunity to try the next size up drill bit or pen or dowel or whatever. But for now, we'll just test this and see how the Loctite works and if it gives us enough support just to use it and beat it up a lot. So we're gonna let this cure for like a day or two or three. This is the backup dog bone. So this is my third one. We got the working one already in the car. So this will be for when that one breaks. We have the backup ready to go, but we're gonna leave it here for now and let it cure. Probably stick it in some heat for a minute, for like 30 minutes, maybe an hour, and then air cure it for a couple days. And now I usually stick it right onto the heater because it's not that hot. It's warm. It's hot, but not super hot. Just to start the curing process, and yeah, and that's it. Okay, what I'm gonna do next is pull off the dog bone with that one screw right there. That's all you need to do to take the dog bone out. So we'll just do that, finish that. These come apart, and then boom, dog bone comes right out. This is the old dog bone that I just fixed. It took a beating with 3 batteries. I'm loving that. Put that aside for now. I'm gonna take the one that I just fixed with the epoxy on both ends of it. It's cured for like 3 days now, so something like that. 2 to 3 days I think we're at. So let's get her on there and then get back out there with 3 batteries and see how this one does. The one that's stretched out, where the holes are stretched and the pins slid in really easily, and it's just red Loctite holding it in there now. Let's get out there and see how long it takes to destroy the beautiful Loctite dog bone with the stretched holes. Let's do it. Let's see how she does. Time to go to Pound Town again. All right, here we go. How long are we going today? So as I was editing all my clips, I realized that it's no fun ending the video where I didn't press the pins in correctly. The holes are stretched on my second dog bone. Still have the good one from the last session where nothing crazy happened. Still got 4-wheel drive. So that dog bone's fine. This one's got Loctite on both sides because both pins went in really easily without the tool so much. Crap. So this one's really just in there with Loctite. Just the Loctite, the red Loctite. Yeah, I need to know how long this thing is gonna last with a normal bash session like this, like full power, 30-foot jumps. Oh, what happened? What happened? The shock. All right, the drive shaft is okay, but the shock on this side broke. What happened? Okay, the eyelet broke. Ah, I broke my eyelet. Okay, when the dog bone drive shafts kick butt, the eyelet breaks, but we're gonna keep going because I just snapped it back in for now. Let's see what happens. This will probably just limit me to 1 battery today. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I can just keep snapping it back in with every jump, right? I mean, we're not testing the eyelet, we're testing this dog bone. We need the eyelet to not matter right now, which it doesn't, because it still technically works. We're still good. Just have to keep snapping this back on for now. It's become a snap-on piece. She still works great, even snapped on. Well, we're well into this battery with as many maximum speed jumps as possible. Heavy bounces. That's a good sign. At least I can get through 1 battery, I think, without breaking the dog bone. See, we still work great. Dog bone's perfect. I'm wondering if the dog bone's better than the original. Like, I'm wondering if those pins are just stronger with the different metal and the Loctite. I knew that was gonna land backwards and flat, and I throttled it. That was nasty. Nasty as it gets. I could almost hear the grinding. I think the shock came out on that one. Yeah, snap that shock back in. Oh, breaking the front of the body. I'm gonna need a bumper. I knew I was gonna need a bumper, but who cares about the body? What we care about is the dog bone. I can't believe this is working as well as it is, though, for real. High speed jump. What was that? The tire? What just happened? Oh my God. WTF. Well, I think we're still okay, but the tire came off. Still got dog bone, still got steering. Why'd the tire come off? I guess it was just too many bashes from the front. Can I get it back on temporarily? That was crazy. All right, it's back on temporarily. We're still rocking and rolling. We're gonna kill this battery and probably be done. Oh, Lordy. Shock's broken, tire flew off. I mean, this is what it's all about. Shock fix, tire fix, kill the battery. And the Dogbone drive shaft doesn't break at all, but the other parts of the car do. We know that I think we're winning the Dogbone drive shafts war, because now the Dogbone drive shaft doesn't have a problem at all, and I gotta do this for every run. Make sure the tire's back on. I think we're good. I think we can kind of get away with some jumping. Oh, almost. Oh, that was pretty cool though. At least we know what to expect. Must finish battery for video. Oh, what do we got here? It's like oh, okay, and we my God, it broke my suspension arm. Wow, okay, now everything else is starting to break on this thing except the drive shaft. So I think we won the war of drive shafts for real. I don't think I can get through 3 battery sessions with the drive shaft jumping at full power on the ramp from asphalt to grass. I don't think that's gonna happen, but you can see right here, we broke the suspension arm in the same way I broke the larger Mojave. I think I broke that one up front though, over here. This one broke in the back, which is very funny. We broke the eyelet for the shock. We broke the suspension arm right there where the seam is, and the front left tire keeps coming off very easily, so I'm gonna have to re-glue that. I'm gonna have to get a new eyelet for that. I'm gonna have to get a new suspension arm. I can't just shove it back in there because of the shock. It wants to push it out instantly, so I think we're done because I can't really spin it. I mean, we might as well for entertainment purposes, right? What's it like now? Pulling out to the right or left now, but let's try it. Oh yeah. Let's go out in style, huh? I've never driven an RC car this beat up before and attempted to jump it. Look at this sad mess of a car. I think we're at low voltage though, which is good. Look at that. Can you even do it, dude? Oh. All right, that's it. We're done. The dishes are done, dude. Dishes are done. We absolutely destroyed the car. Can't believe how much abuse it took. Look at the body. We destroyed the front. My bumpers worked. This black electrical tape is like a lifesaver, I swear. I'm just gonna cover the whole body. It's thick black electrical tape, so that stuff's like protected well everywhere I put it. So I knew I was gonna have to do the front. We're gonna have to get to that, which is fine. Who cares? In terms of the Dogbone looks great. It served us well. I can't believe it. The eyelet of the shock is broken, but I think we can fix that. I think we can replace that. Hopefully that's a little replaceable part. And then the suspension arm right here popped right out. It's from landing it backwards. That happened to the front of my other Mojave when I landed it forwards. And the Mojave landed like from the front wheel. It snapped the front suspension arm. This one probably landed backwards and broke the back suspension arm. So 3 broken parts, no broken dog bones. In my world, that's a success. For this video, I would say that's a success. I'm thinking if I'm jumping it this hard, full power, in a non-realistic environment, so to speak, non-realistic and racing environment, so to speak, the Dogbone's gonna be fine on the track and on normal jumping, not max jumping. So I think I'm good. I think I won. I think we're okay. I'll eventually just get to taking this down to the track, put the jumps out, and just race it around the track and have some fun down there. I just wanted to try the max tests to see how well the Dogbone drive shaft pins stayed in there with the Loctite, and it looks like they're working out better than I ever expected, so we're psyched, everyone. everyone. If you got any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you got any advice for this old hack right here, please let me know or leave them in the comments. I'm sure I'll appreciate it. I'm sure everybody else will appreciate it, especially when you don't have a drill press or like a machine shop. It's not so easy to get a lot of this done on metal components at that size, but I think I did pretty well, and hopefully I can help anybody else out there who doesn't want to wait 2-3 months to get new Dogbone drive shafts. They can just kind of order some pins, order the pin tool if you want, because there are some out there, but I don't think they fit the 1.5 millimeter pin. So maybe create your own pin press tool and get some punch tools, and that's about it. Maybe some lube and all that good stuff, Loctite, epoxy, and get to work and fix your own dog bones for now, so we can all still have fun for the next 2-3 months as the time passes. I'm not waiting. I'm not making this a shelf knick-knack for 3 months. That's so silly. I love being out here, and I'm gonna love being on the track even more, because racing the track is just better. It's more real. Let me get back home, fix all this stuff, and then we'll get back out here onto the track with a normal session, I think, where I don't have to worry about max jumping. I can just jump it like normal and see how long it lasts then. Thank you very much. This was a good video. I had fun at the end. Can't believe we broke this many parts on the car. Awesome. I'm thinking the drive shafts will survive. They might be better than the originals. We'll find out. So I'm just happy to have them and happy to use the car again every day if I want. So thanks a lot. Stay tuned and see you in the next video. Appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate you being here with me and coming on this crazy test with me of how to fix Dogbone drive shafts in the Mojave 223S. BLX brushless 3S with all the good metal components. It already has the upgrades, so we're destroying the upgrades and seeing what's weak about them. I think we did a great job. All right, thanks. See you guys later. Peace.